Hello guys, today I want to show you how to do this question. On the right side, you can see the question as need you to return the number of times A appears as a digit of both these arguments. Yeah. Actually, there are two methods you can use. The first one as the iterative method, and the second one you can use the recursive method. So first of all, I can show you the recursive one, the recursive method. Here, left number 8. By using the recursive use, we can test if the position percentage depend that equals to the 8. So this stuff, that means you're taking the rightmost digit of the argument pose. So that means, what that means is like if here's a 2,638 and you are trying to get the percent, the mod, okay, that means the mod, if you know what's the module, 10. Yeah. So if you percentage the 10, that equals to the 8. So you're taking the rightmost digit to test if the rightmost digit is the 8. You should use the return one, and 1 plus the function you're going to call. That's the function itself, the 8 position, pose floor the 10. You can say it's divided by the 10, but you have to get the integer, the floor, not the floating number, not the floating value. So you cannot use just one slash here. So that means, what that means that if the rightmost digit is the 8, okay, you have to count the 8 number of times. So you're going to plus the 1 and test the second one. I mean, take out the rightmost digits. So dividing by the 10, get the floor of that value. That's the 263. For based on this calculation, and then test the number with using the if statement. Get the rightmost digit again. That is the 3, not the 8. So if it's not the 8, if the rightmost digit is not the 8, just call the next number. So return the next number. You don't have to plus the 1, so 0 plus the number digits, but the number 8. Pose dividing by the 10. Actually, the 0, you don't need to write the 0. Just call the function itself. That's ht. But you have to end the recursive loop, right? Otherwise, it just give you the infinite loop. So you have to call the base case. So what is the base case? If a position that equals to the 0. Return. You don't have to count the 0, okay? Return the 0. So that's all. Or you could just simply write down not position, not post. They have the same meaning. So that's all for the recursive skill. Okay, so the another method, if you don't familiar with, if you're not really familiar with the recursive one, you can try the iterative one here. So if you are using the iterative method, you have to use the while loop or the for loop. Yeah, for me, I prefer to use the while loop here. So once create a variable counter that's 0, and while the position that is not that's greater than 0, and then you can test if the rightmost digit of the post that equals to the 8, so count plus increment by 1 plus equal to the 1. And then if not, we don't need to count, we don't need to increment the counter value. So you have to end up with the position divided 10 by to itself and save the value to the post. So you have to update the value of the post. Okay. And then return the counter. So that's all. So that's the iterative method. Or you could just write the post while post column. They did the same. They're the same. Yeah. If the post that is not equal to 0, so that means it's true. Only this value is which is 0 will be treated as the false. Okay. So and usually, okay, we can first of all we have to assume that the post is a non-negative value. Okay. So if it is negative value, if here's the negative value, not a positive one, so you have what you have to do is that change the negative to the positive. Yeah. So like here, if the position is less than 0, position equals to the negative position. Because if you don't change the value to the positive one or to the 0 one, it will skip the while loop. It always skip the while loop. So you won't count how many A's in that number. Okay. So if it's so that's the case for if the post is negative. So that's all here. Okay. Yeah, and last one, if how do you manage the negative in using the recursive skill? I forgot to add here. So for the recursive one, okay, let me go back. Okay, so how to put the negative value. How to change the negative to the positive one just is really simple. Just add the if statement. If positive, if the positive, I actually you should mean the positive one, but never mind. If this value is the negative one, so if it is less than 0, change the port to the negative port. Actually, it means the positive, but in some cases, they will give you the negative value to let you to figure out. Okay, so that's all. If you have any ideas, welcome to comment below the videos. Thank you.